Okay, if you find yourself ever taking a camera in any kind of live, uncontrolled environment, sound is always going to be an issue that you're going to deal with. It's the reason why you see a shotgun mic on just about every single camera, phone, action cam, you name it out there if you want to get any kind of recoverable, decent sound in those environments. And the reason for this is very important. One is, yes, your cameras do have a microphone in them, but they're not that great. And two, shotgun mics like this, what they do is they have a very specific tone of sound that projects forward and doesn't get all the outside ambience and gets you a much better result. And today I want to do that. I want to take a look at one that actually takes this whole idea a step further by bringing AI into the game. And this is the BOYA MM1 AI shotgun mic. And as you can see, this is a pretty simple on-camera shotgun mic that you put on your camera. But what's cool about this is this has noise canceling AI to give you an even further boost in those noisy environments. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a look at what this is today. And we're going to take it outside and put it through its paces and see where the AI works and where it doesn't. And you know, just a spoiler alert, AI or any kind of noise cancellation in any kind of microphone you're going to have, it is a really nice tool to have. It's not something you're going to use every single time. So knowing when to use it and when not to use it is going to be an important thing to look at. So let's take a look at what this is at its base, and then we'll go put it through some sound tests. What do you think? Okay, now as you can see right here, you know, this is the BOYA MMA1. It comes in a pretty self-contained case. And what's nice about it, I'm going to pop this off right here so you can see it. You know, you get the shotgun mic, you get a shotgun mic holder, which is actually really nice. And it's basically got a cold shoe. You can slip here on any kind of cold shoe mount on a camera or wherever you got it. And it's actually got a 1/4-inch mount point here. So there's a lot of ways to mount this on there. They also are very nice to provide a muffler and a dead cat. And what you do is you slip this on the front. This is absolutely essential for cutting down wind noise when you're in windy outdoor environments, something that you'll see all the time. Very nice to have this. And they basically then give you a cable to connect this to your camera, and they give you a USB-C charging cable. So you get everything you really need right out of the box. But what I really like about this system is just it's really simple. And simple is good in my opinion. And you can see there's just one kind of big button at the top, and it's got two sections on it. Now, if you hold down this one right here, you'll cut it on. And what happens, you just hold it down for a few seconds. And then once you do that, you're gonna see a blue light come on here. And then it's got essentially a power button, and it's got a gain button. And if you look at the bottom, what you see is you have that power slash basically noise cancellation button. You can hit it once, it'll turn the light to a green light. And then if you double tap it, it'll turn it red, and that means that you've muted, because sometimes you may want to mute it. You double tap out again, and you're back to wherever you were on the last time before. So blue is normal, and green is the noise cancellation. Pretty simple, straightforward. And then if you come up here and you look at the top, you will see that it's got a -10, a 0, and a +20, basically volume control. So all you gotta do is hit that, and it'll give you a very clear indicator of where you are with the lights. Not a whole lot of stuff to figure out, which is what you want, honestly, in a shotgun mic. Now, this thing does come with an internal battery. You do have to charge it. Now, what it does is it says you can get up to 30 hours on one charge. So if you charge this thing and show up on a set, you will have more than enough to go and get anything you're gonna get in a day. Just so you're aware of that. But just be aware you do have to charge this when you go on there. If you look right here, it's got these little lines, and that lets you know how to arrange this holder here onto the mic itself. So let's go ahead, we'll just, you just kind of slip it right in there on those lines. So pop it right in. It's good to go, boom. And I'm just gonna line that up there. And then really, once you hook this up, I'm just gonna put this on right here, just so you can see, you just tighten it up. And then you just take this little connection point, like I've got a camera here, and all I gotta do is I can just plug this right here in there, and then I can come down here and I can just plug this right here into my microphone jack on my camera, and there you go. I'm ready to rock and roll. It's that simple and that fast to set up on your camera system. So let's go ahead and take this thing outside in a couple situations and look and see how it does. Okay, so I'm right here by a road. As you can see, it's pretty loud. There's cars and stuff going by. This is another real world environment I like to do. I'm gonna go and hit the noise cancellation now. Let's go in and see if that makes a difference. Now, there's a lot of background noise going around me right here. I've got, you can see construction over my shoulders. I have cars all over passing me by. So there's a lot of road noise. This is actually something that I don't think I could actually really get a realistic real world sound here, but I'm going to try and see, because hey, that's the whole point of noise cancellation, isn't it? Because we have cars coming by, but even if there are cars coming by, hopefully this noise cancellation is enough to go by. You can see, I'm gonna keep talking. There's a truck that's gonna go by me right here. As you can see as I go there, that truck was very loud. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but let's go ahead and see. So as you can see, I'm driving pretty down the road and I'm right beside a giant tractor trailer. So this should be a really, really extreme test now of this background noise and if this noise canceling actually works. You know, I'm going now about 45, 50 miles an hour as I'm driving down the road. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this thing off just so you can hear the difference. And now this is the difference of it without the noise canceling on. So you can see I'm slowing down to a red light now, but you can see just the difference in sound here between having that environment like that, even with just road noise, which is something you're going to definitely want to cancel out. You really hear that difference. I'll hit this one more time. And you can see the difference here as I pull it back on, what it does to the road noise or what it doesn't do to the road noise. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is something that if you are blogging would make a big difference for you? I think it's interesting to see. Let's go do another situation and check that out. Okay, so I did want to do one more test. The last time I did have the decibel level set to plus 20. So what I'm gonna do is I wanted to come back out here with this on a 0 decibel level just to see if there's any discernible value. Now, as you can see behind me, there are cars and everything going. So this is once again a pretty rough traffic situation. So I'm gonna go and cut the noise cancellation on. And this is now what it sounds like with the noise cancellation on 0 dB. And I have noticed on this, there is a difference if you have it at plus 20 or 0. It seems like it just gives, when there's a lot of ambient noise from that plus 20, it does seem to give it some more stuff to go. And as you can see, I got cars coming behind me in the background. Really, really terrible situation. This is what it sounds like here with the noise cancellation off, just to give you that honest. And let's go and check this out now in one other situation and see what it looks like inside a more controlled situation. Okay, now I'm back in a studio environment once again. And what I am doing right now is I do have my mic hooked up to an action cam, and I'm just going to sync it back to my main camera just so you can still get an apples to apples comparison to what we've been doing for the last test. Now, the number one thing I do want you to point out, you can see the blue light is on here because I don't have noise cancellation on because I'm in a pretty controlled environment right now. There's not really that much I want to cancel. And that's really the thing you do need to know about noise cancellation. You don't want to have it on all the time. It is a artificial thing that is being introduced that is there to help you in really loud situations that could ruin your audio. But if you're in a good controlled environment, you don't want to introduce that. And the good thing about this BOYA MM1 is that it's a good mic even without the AI. So the AI is almost a tool to it that you can use to save you in bad situations. But if you don't use it, you don't need it. Now I'm going to show you one other little aspect of this that I didn't mention outside, and that is because I'm at 0 dB right now. But watch what happens when I go ahead and if I cut on the noise cancellation here at 0 dB, I think what you'll see is that it makes it sound not quite right. I'm in a normal situation and it's almost like the noise cancellation is struggling to overcome. So what you need to do in a situation like that is actually, if you're in a more controlled environment and you still want to use that noise cancellation for some reason, go ahead and set the dB up to plus 20. I'm going to go ahead and set that. Okay, now the dB is set up to plus 20, and now when I hit the noise cancellation, now what you're going to see is that it does operate a lot better when you have that plus 20 versus the 0 dB if you're in a more controlled environment. I think what's happening here is the AI is just taking that plus 20 brings up a lot more just ambient noise, and the AI has something to kind of cancel out and not your voice. When it's just your voice at 0, it's almost like you're the noise thing that it has to cancel out. So it is something to be aware of. And bam, now I'm back here at 0 dB with all the noise cancellation removed. Just kind of giving my kind of closing thoughts here on this BY-MM1 AI mic. And you know, this is a $69 mic. It is really, really affordable, and it is an incredible add-on with what it can do. And you know, I've had so much experience with noise cancellation on mics, and usually it's been so terrible I never use it. And what I was impressed about this is I was able to put it in some pretty extreme situations, and it gave me workable sound what I could come home with. And now, of course, I think anytime you cut on this AI sound, you do get a bit of that robotic, slightly mechanical sound to it. But in this situation, I didn't find it too distracting or unusable. And certainly it actually salvaged dialogue that I would have never been able to get in any other situation. There's also one other thing about this mic that I think is just a really, really cool feature that I think I should mention as well. And that's the fact that it's a smart mic in the fact that when I cut off the power to whatever I have it plugged into, whether I have it on my camera or an action cam, it doesn't matter. If I cut the power off this, it'll automatically cut the power off on the microphone itself. And when I cut the power back on, the mic power will come back on. So I don't have to think about if I forgot to cut the power on. This is a really, really useful aspect to have of this that is 100% worth mentioning and just really helps you extend that battery life even more, so you can not have to be worrying about whether or not you cut this thing off when you sit down, have a lunch break, or running in between shots. So all in all, this is a really, really impressive little tool and just something I thought, what do you really like to know about? Anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Leave me notes in the comments down below. And yeah, I got to keep on shooting. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.